Some students may be confused on how to solve these problems, so we're here to discuss about distance, midpoint, and division of line segment with their formulas.
How to get the distance on a number line. The formula will be the absolute value of x minus y. There's no negative distance, so we need to get its absolute value. For example, Cookies wants to visit his friend Cream and went to Mount Carmel, which is 3,200 meters away from his place. But suddenly, he went to a wrong hospital, so he had to drive about 9,400 meters to reach JBL. What will be the distance between Cookie's place and JBL? X will be the distance between Mount Carmel and JBL, which is 9,400 meters, and Y will be the distance between Cookie's place and Mount Carmel, which is 3,200 meters. Will be the distance between Mount Carmel and JBL, which is 9,400 meters, while Y will be the distance between Cookie's place and Mount Carmel, which is 3,200 meters. We will use the formula and substitute the values, so it will be the absolute value of 9,400 minus 3,200. And if you get the difference of the two, it will be the absolute value of 6,200, and the answer will be 6,200. Therefore, the distance between Cookie's place and JBL is...
Get the midpoint on a number line. The formula is x sub 2 plus x sub 1 over 2. For example, if Vanilla lives 150 meters away from Pure Gold and her friend Lane lives 184 meters away from Pure Gold, what will be the midpoint of their places? 150 meters, and x sub 1 will be 184 meters. We will use the formula x sub 2 plus x sub 1 over 2. It will be 150 plus 184 over 2 is equals to 334 over 2. So the answer will be 167.
Getting the distance, but this time it's on the Cartesian plane. The formula will be square root of x sub 2 minus x sub 1 squared plus y sub 2 minus y sub 1 squared. For example, we're at the giant Cartesian plane. If I'm at point 28 and you're at point 56, what will be our distance? Will be x sub 1 and y sub 1, and 0.56 will be x sub 2 and y sub 2. We will use the distance formula. We will substitute the value of x sub 1 and y sub 1 and x sub 2 and y sub 2. If we substitute it, it will become square root of 5 minus 2 squared plus 6 minus 8 squared. Then the answer will be square root of 3 squared plus negative 2 squared. And it will become square root of 9 plus 4. And the sum of square root of 9 plus 4 is square root of 13. If it doesn't have a square root,
Midpoint on a Cartesian plane. The formula is x sub 2 plus x sub 1 over 2 and y sub 2 plus y sub 1 over 2. Example, we're still at a giant Cartesian plane, but on a different point. If I'm at point 39 and you're at point 48, what will be our midpoint? Would be x sub 1 and y sub 1, while 0.48 would be x sub 2 and y sub 2. We will use the midpoint formula and substitute the value, so it will be 4 plus 3 over 2 and 8 plus 1 over 2. The answer would be 7 over 2 and 17 over 2. You can leave it like that, but it's better if you'll transform it into a mixed fraction, so it will be easier to graph.
Let's proceed on the internal division of a line segment. The formulas will be mx sub 2 plus nx sub 1 over m plus n and my sub 2 plus ny sub 1 over m plus n. Example, the coordinate of k is 3 and negative 2 and the coordinate of m is 6 and 2. If L divides k and m into half, what will be the coordinate of L? Remember, the coordinate of the point that divides the line segment is called x sub p and y sub p, and the ratio will be the m and n. Point 3, negative 2 will be the x sub 1 and y sub 1, while 6, 2 will be the x sub 2 and y sub 2. The ratio will be 1:1 since it will be divided into half. We will use the formula and substitute the values, and it will become 1 times 6 plus 1 times 3 over 1 plus 1. Then it will be 6 plus 3 over 2. Then the answer will be 9 over 2 or 4 and 1/2. For the y sub p, We will use the formula and substitute the values again, so it will become 1 times 2 plus 1 times negative 2 over 1 plus 1. Then it will be 2 plus negative 2 over 2. Then the answer will be 0 over 2 or 0. The external division of a line segment. The formula will be the same. Example. The coordinate of V that divides the line segment UW is 6, 3. If the coordinate of U is 8, 2, what will be the coordinate of W if the ratio is 2:1? We will use the formula and substitute the values. So it will be 6 equals 2 times x sub 2 plus 1 times 8 over 2 plus 1. And it will be 6 equals 2x sub 2 plus 8 over 3. To cancel the denominator, we need to multiply both sides by 3. Y sub b. We will use the formula my sub 2 plus ny sub 1 over n plus n. If we substitute the values, it will be 3 is equal to 2 times y sub 2 plus 1 times 2 over 2 plus 1. So it will be 3 is equal to 2y sub 2 plus 2 over 3. To cancel the denominator, we need to multiply both sides by 3. And now it will be 9 is equal to 2y sub 2 plus 1. We will transpose 2 to the other side and it will be 9 minus 2 is equal to 2y sub 2, or simply 2y sub 2 equals 9 minus 2. We will
And now you know how to solve these kinds of problems. So it will be more easier to solve these kinds of problems when you encounter them. Thank you for watching.